Okay, it's 7 o'clock, and I'm going to call order the December 2nd Park and Rec monthly meeting. And let's see, the first thing we're going to do is take attendance, PRC attendance. Oh, you got that? Do you need one?
Sure, yeah, thanks, Bob.
Okay, so we have Mary Ellen's here, myself, Bob Dunn, John Flower, Brenda McKeever, and of course Don Bugby, our Park and Rec Director. And we have one guest in attendance, Mike McGee. Okay, previous meeting.
Is anybody out there in telephone land?
The telephone land, is any Park and Rec commissioner out there?
Yeah, Bob, I'm not here, Tim.
Oh, that's Tim. Okay, Tim, you're here. Okay, good. Good. Just speak up in case I forget to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you're here, Tim. Good. So anyway, let's see. First part of business is to approve the previous meeting minutes. I just pointed out to Mary Ellen that I thought the minutes were very good, and that the only thing was the title. For some reason, PPOL, Parks and Rec Commission. Typo.
Yeah, I don't know if it's correct on the website.
I don't know. That's the one you sent me.
Okay, yeah, okay.
But I don't know.
Okay, I'll check it.
Yeah, just check that. Anybody else have any comments on the minutes? Other than they were very good and comprehensive? Okay. So, somebody please make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion. I'll second it.
Okay, fine. Any discussion?
Nope.
No? Okay, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay, opposed? No one, abstained, no one. Because the only one we're missing is Missy, right? Oh, no, Glenn is not here either, okay. Okay, now, the director's report's up next. Update to PRC programs and facilities.
Okay, program update. Since the last meeting in November, we ended fall soccer. Adult basketball at the high school on Wednesdays and Sundays has still not started. There has been reluctance to, as I talked about previously, there's been reluctance to wear masks and stuff like that. So I want to talk about the masks and stuff in general, but I have not done that yet because I'm not confident that they'll comply with the regulations. Yoga classes have started at Mile Creek. I think, Mary, I might have the dates and stuff. We went through them last time.
Okay.
I'll give you that. Youth basketball, sign-ups were expected to start already. I've held off on that because of my own personal COVID concerns. I met with the superintendent about some projected requirements for COVID. They're changing rapidly. The numbers of COVID cases in the schools is increasing rapidly. So I've been hesitant to start this indoor program because of those reasons. I don't know if it's kind of a fluid situation. I could start sign-ups tomorrow and sign up through January 7th, have a coaches meeting on Saturday, January 8th, and the season can run the 15th through March 5th, 8 weeks. So it'll only be a week behind. But does anybody have any concerns or questions or ideas about how to deal with COVID stuff? I'd hate to sign up a couple hundred kids then have the thing fold.
What does the superintendent say?
Well, everything's a go right now as far as all the activities over there, but it's changing.
Didn't you say that not only students but teachers too, or?
Yeah, the numbers are going up. I don't have specific details on it, but all I hear, I might get emails and stuff, and the numbers are going up drastically.
Well, anybody?
Scary.
I mean, I can try it.
I mean, Don, why don't you wait? And there's no rush, right? I mean, it wouldn't start, you probably wouldn't start until the new year anyway, right?
Well, that's right. We normally don't. I originally wanted to start January 8th.
Yeah, I mean,
But now I'm going to have a coaches meeting on January 8th and maybe start the following week. I just hate to sign up a couple hundred kids or whatever and then have it fold and I gotta return all that money and all that stuff, you know.
So if you waited 2 weeks, you'd still have enough leeway before you'd start either the
I
first
do,
or
but
second
everybody
weekend.
signed up in a rapid manner.
Yeah,
Maybe you hold off a week then.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
or even 2 weeks. Because the way things are going, I don't see it as going in a positive direction.
I don't either, and
They say the Thanksgiving
I don't either,
numbers
I
aren't
don't
even
know,
out.
but I don't either.
This is all just pre-Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and in 2 weeks or say, you open up the thing and you find out you can't start on January 8th, well, just then start it on January, whatever, 15th, yeah.
Okay, I will,
That's probably the best way to do it, Don, because it seems to be rapidly changing everywhere.
yeah, I will, initiate sign-ups to start tomorrow and get everything updated, and we'll see how it goes.
So you're not gonna start the sign-ups tomorrow, are you? Why would you start them tomorrow? Why can't you delay
I can
it?
have them, because it takes a long time to sign up. I can't.
Yeah, but
do
I think,
it
Brendan, you said, why not wait to sign up, or?
well, I would defer to Don. I mean, but if you have, and I understand, if you have people sign up, and then money's coming in, and then you gotta, and then it cancels and you gotta return it. I mean, I don't
It's
know.
not the end of the world, but it's just, it doesn't, people don't sign up real quickly.
That's it too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you see the messages and the posts, and I get them too. Well, can we sign up for this? Can we sign up for that? Just sometimes it takes a little bit of time for the word of mouth to get out. So I don't know. I mean, you know.
I don't see anything bad about delaying it a week or so and just see how things are gonna go, the sign-ups.
All right.
I think that was a good idea. I'd say maybe even 2 weeks, but it's a week and then see how it goes. And it has to go for a second week and,
All right,
yeah.
I will meet with the superintendent again, hopefully tomorrow, if not Monday, and get the latest update from him as well. I just hate to go through a lot of effort and have to toss it all away. Adult volleyball, I've had several discussions. It looks like we can get this started as long as the COVID stuff works out. I will be meeting with facilities people hopefully tomorrow, maybe Monday. We're hoping to get into the middle school. They have the standards and nets and volleyballs that we could use. I don't know if anybody's tried to get equipment lately, but it's all on back order and you can't get anything. So we got enough to get started. I think we got enough people interested to make it happen. I just got to confirm a couple things with District 18 facilities.
Is that gonna be, is the plan for co-ed?
Yes, co-ed adults. And hopefully we can get that started. We're looking to go on Monday nights, January 10th, so we're trying to work it out. And then as previously stated, our two soccer camps for next summer are still on the agenda. Facilities. White Sand Beach, obviously water turned off, building closed up. Cross Lane Park, water's turned off, building closed up, Public Works did their fall cleanup. Haines Park, water's been turned off, building closed. Public Works has done their fall cleanup. Obviously the park remains open for use, there's still some road activity going on. The docks are scheduled to be pulled from water around December 13th. By Public Works, whenever the roads are officially done. On the building, because it was overlooked in the building project to put gutter guards on the gutters on the building, we have an estimate and approval to start that, so that will be done in the next few weeks. The bathroom, the broken window replacement is due to back order, so we'll get that in when we can. Townwoods Park, water's all off, building's closed, the gate's open, the park's available for use, open and closed on a daily basis. Food Share Garden Project, there's a little bit of work here and there going on it, but they look pretty much done for the season as well. Some folks from Lime Little League took the infield machine from Cross Lane down to Townwoods Park and redid the softball and the baseball infield area, so it looks good. And the broken windows on the building are still waiting on windows to be received.
how many broken windows in Town Woods?
Yes.
Two?
Yeah, 2, maybe 3, I forget now. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it for facilities. On my budget, I started putting next year's budget together, 22-23 budget. I'm meeting with the finance director probably next week. It was supposed to happen today, but that changed. So, and the budget's scheduled to be turned in by December 15th. And then sometime January, February, I'll go in front of the Board of Finance whenever they call up there. And last, the safety committee that I'm on, I stepped down as the chairman. I thought 8 or 9 or 10 years, however long I was chairman, was enough, although I'm still participating on the committee. So I'm no longer the chairman of that. And that's it.
Any questions or comments for Don? No, other than it's going to be touch and go, I think, with this COVID.
It is.
This other one.
It is.
It's too bad. But anyway. Okay, hearing no other comments or questions for Don, we'll move on. Next one is Kayak Launch at Haines Park, Mike McGee. We had a nice meeting out there the other day, but go ahead, Mike.
Okay, well, you want me to surmise what we talked about when we were there? Is that what you'd like?
Yeah, and Mike provided the nice pictures of, who was it, McCullough, 88-year-old guy that got...
No, it was Dick Shriver.
Oh, Dick Shriver, another 88-year-old guy.
Yeah.
That they hooked up their launch up. Everybody saw the pictures, they hooked up the launch to the existing docks.
It's the same brand, so it marries right up to it.
The things seemed to work fine. We took a look around. I guess the meeting consisted of myself, Mike, Terry Lewis, Don, and Mr. Fuchs. And we took a look around possible places. The first possible place we discussed at the meeting that we had out there before the November meeting was seemed to be no longer available because Mr. Fuchs moved docks right up against the wooden docks, right up against the existing docks. So the spot that we're talking about using there couldn't use, and plus he objected to the use there because he needs all the docks, he says, but I had to remind him that these are town docks and they have to be shared. Then we looked at the other spot, which is over by the garden area.
The picnic area, that's right.
Yeah, the other side of the beach area, and we decided that might be possible to do there. And Mike, you want to explain what would be in...
Mr. Fuchs kindly offered a section of the town's dock, one section, which is...
Which, by the way, the town docks are. So the town will let you do it.
7.5 by 10 foot. We can orient that so that the long leg is facing out into the water, and then the Harbor Commission would provide a ramp to it, probably an 8-foot ramp. So that gets us out to where there may be deep enough water most of the year, and then we would have to supply the anchoring and attachments to marry all these pieces together. The kayak launch would be at the very end of that dock, which is good because you can come in either direction. You can get up at enough speed that you kind of have to bump yourself onto this thing. And it's a great location, in my opinion. If the water were a little deeper, it would be wonderful, but we have to work with what we have. So that was my first choice in the beginning, was to put the dock there and the kayak launch there. So I think it's a great deal. We get to use a section of the dock that already exists in the town, and what the Harbor Commission would like to know before we pay for all these parts and pieces, is that we can in fact install it using a town section for next season. So that's what we need.
Yeah, Mike, I think that's as we said at that meeting, that we could always try it for a year and see if it works, because we know it'll already work if we hook it up to the other docks.
Yeah, if we find we need to move it for a specific reason, I mean, I'm willing to work with you there.
Yeah. I thought about when I left, though, being that it'd be another dock, does that have to get approved somehow by DEP?
I don't believe so. I've talked to Harry Cloud, who's in that business, and he said no.
Harry Cloud says no?
Harry Platt is in the business, he sells and supplies and installs docks on lakes, and he said, no, DEP does not require a permit for Rogers Lake.
You're with the Harbor Commission, you guys should know all about that too, right?
We don't require it. We regulate docks on tidal waters, but so far we've not done any regulation on, or even reviewed the dock going into Rogers Lake.
Okay, and the other question I have is, that did you talk to the Rogers Lake Authority, which of course will be an easy one, I'm sure. They would say great, but have you addressed them?
I have not, no.
Okay, so I think what we're gonna need, I speak for the committee because we already talked about, everyone on the committee thinks this is a good idea on the commission, correct?
Yeah.
Brendan, you,
Yes.
yeah. And that we'd like to go ahead with it, but I think what we're gonna need is for you guys to talk to the Rogers Lake Authority to make sure that it's okay with them. And also, besides Harry Plout, can you get me something in writing that says it doesn't have to...
Well, let me put it this way. Yes, we need permission from the state to do this. Yes, we need permission from Rogers Lake to do this. And yes, we need permission from...
We will give it to you if you have the other permission.
The Harbor Commission. So I don't have the Harbor Commission yet. My objective tonight would be to have your permission, which would be in the form of, John McDonald wanted a letter from you. I'm willing to say, if you make a motion that if we have all our ducks in a row, permission from DEP, we're running out of time because prices go up in January for everything.
Yeah.
I'd like to get it paid for before then. If I can get that kind of a commitment within the minutes, I can tell John McDonald, okay, we've got that. Let me get the other two, which I can work on in the next month. You won't be back until January. So I missed my opportunity by then.
What do you think,
That's
Brendan?
what I need, and then I'll move ahead with the others.
I don't have any problem with that. If there's the caveat that you're comfortable that if everybody else, like you said, he has the ducks in a row,
Yeah.
Park and Rec Commission is in agreement.
I'll report to you.
I certainly think that's fair.
Yeah, what do you think, John?
I say we make a motion to do it.
Okay, so can we make a motion to allow, what do I call you
The
guys?
Harbor Commission.
The Harbor Commission to install a safe launch dock on, what end would that be, by the arborvitae's?
Haines Park. Right.
How would we
East
just...
End?
East End.
Okay, yeah, the East End. Thanks.
Huh?
East End beyond the beach at Haines Park.
Oh, okay. Pending in writing, a statement from the Rogers Lake Authority that they approve, and that also that this would not would not. It sounds like Harry Plout saying we would not be required to get some sort of dock application from DEP.
Harry Plout's the harbor master, so I was...
Every dock application that goes to DEP for the town of Old Lyme comes to the Harbor Commission. So we have not seen one for any kind of lake dock.
Those people that live on the lakes, John, used to be, and they don't need any permit to put a dock in? I can't
No.
believe that.
Nothing to do with building department.
That's exactly right, nothing to do with building.
Yeah.
Right.
But can we get...
We'll get you the ordinance or whatever it is you need. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you got that, Mary Ellen? And so pending receiving those things that the Park and Rec Commission
Well,
will grant
I
us.
lost it on, move to allow the Harbor Commission to install a safe launch, is that what it's called?
What do you want to call it? Safe kayak launch or
Sure, yeah.
a safe?
They call it their yak for it, we call it a kayak assist, launching assist.
Yeah, a safe kayak launch at, how we describe the area
The
where,
east end
Eastern end.
the eastern end
of Haines Park,
of Haines Park, okay?
pending in writing a statement of approval from the Rogers Lake Authority, and then we kind of went back and forth.
And the state of Connecticut.
And the state.
That's the holdup.
Well,
I don't think so, as long as if it's an ordinance or that they don't,
yeah, if Harry's correct, it sounds like no big deal.
pardon me?
If Harry Plout is correct, it sounds like no big deal.
Well, that's something I would never put money on.
No, that's why I know Harry, so too, I would rather have something more official than Harry,
I understand.
okay? So pending that Park and Rec
Do you
Commission.
have permits for the docks that are there? Does the town have a copy of approval from the state of Connecticut for the docks that are there right now?
Yes.
Not that I'm aware of.
Ask Mr. Fuchs, he was in charge of that committee when we put the
There was no, I mean, there were docks there before as well, so it was replacing docks, so it's a little different. But
You would still have to go through the approval process to replace it.
I'm just saying that I don't believe the DEP had anything to do with it.
I mean, there you go, I mean, but I'll follow up on it, but I think.
Can I just say, I wouldn't be so sure that DEP doesn't have jurisdiction over these docks.
I would not be, I would say, people on a lake and all, they have to go through some permitting, process, don't they?
Well, I can say this, that if I'm representing a buyer buying a property with a dock, it is a huge deal to make sure that DEP has all of the sign-offs for said dock.
Right.
But I think that's more title.
It may be, and that I don't know. So, you know what, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's why we want to get something.
No, you wouldn't consider anything on the lake a navigable waterway.
No, that's correct, I would agree too. That's fair to say.
So, okay, so that sounds like we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, second it? Okay, any more discussion? Okay, so, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
How about Tim? Aye, okay, I say aye. Opposed? None. Abstain? None. Now, Mike, we will write that. We've made the motion, it's in the minutes, but we'll also write a letter to your, I'll write a letter representing the Park and Rec Commission to your harbor master, the harbor guy that needs it, pending us receiving this other.
That would be wonderful, yeah.
Yeah.
Mary Ellen can handle that for you.
Yeah, and,
I write the letter, but
no, I write all the letters.
that's good.
But anyway, that will be fine. And what was the approximate price of $1,500 or something for everything?
Probably, since we're adding a ramp to it, we've also gotten a second price on a ramp. But there are parts and pieces to connect things, especially when you're buying a ramp made by someone else. But we were at around, I think it was around $1,300 with just what was there.
Yes.
The assist and the connectors and the ground bars, the overhead bar. Now we're adding another 8-foot ramp, which is around $900 or something.
Oh, okay. So
You're in the 2,000.
less than 2,500 probably, right?
Harbor Commission's paying the bill, so you shouldn't even ask.
Yeah, well, I'm just curious. That's all.
No, okay, that's about what it is.
Yeah, okay.
It's not cheap.
Okay, that's fine. So we'll look forward to hopefully getting more information on. Well, you guys will go to I think the Rogers Lake Authority meets after us next week, maybe, or.
I'll get it to you as soon as I can.
Yeah, and that'll be good to see how it works. But this is, as we said during that walkthrough the other day, we'll try it out to see if it works there, and if not, then we always have the fallback to attach it.
As long as it can stay at Haines Park and we don't have to and you say, oh no, we can't have it here next year or something, that would be, that'd be great.
Well, it should be fine, yeah.
I don't think there's going to be any problem.
Yeah, okay. All right, good. Okay, anybody else on that? No? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Thank you for all your background work you've done, and also thank you for continuing to do the background work and purchasing and all that. Okay, the security cameras for Haines Park. Bill Parchik has gotten a couple estimates, and Mr. Griswold requested a couple estimates for that. They're all in the same ballpark.
There's still two?
There were two estimates given, one by a firm in East Lyme and the other by Mike Swaney. And between Phil Parchik and Mr. Griswold, they're going to pick the one that they're going to use. I spoke to Tim Griswold yesterday to tell them that Phil was gonna stop by probably today with the particulars on everything. So hopefully that'll get going, shortly. I don't know, everything seems to take longer than it should, but at least we're making progress on that. Yeah.
Did they say in the estimates,
Mike, I'd like you to stay here just for a minute or two, okay?
how long it would take to get this done?
No,
Is there a wait on this stuff too?
I don't believe so, but I wouldn't be surprised if there might be some hitch.
I don't think there is, but
I don't think-
I have not heard that there is.
Yeah, I haven't heard that either, so hopefully they'll be able to work this out, and because I pointed out to Mr. Griswold that this is the time we really need, because the security cameras are gonna do like 180-degree sweeps, so we'll see the front of the boathouse, we'll see all the area in there, we'll see all the way over to where the new launch would be, because the two in the front, or I guess they're in those black globes, and they do a sweep. And then there's gonna be another one on there, and so at least we'll get some security in the park, because in the wintertime we seem to have the biggest problem of vehicles driving through there and leaving ruts and stuff around there, because there's nobody there, so more people tend to just drive around on that property and kind of mess it up. Yeah.
Do they keep that gate unlocked for the fire department? Is that the reason for not having one of those?
The gate to enter the parking lot is always open.
Right?
It's been open for 20 years or more.
I was just curious, if the park is closed after dark, would it be impossible?
We close up Haines Park because it's so huge and you can't really see much in Haines, not Haines Park, in Townwoods Park. That gate is locked at night.
Yes.
But
So why don't we lock the gate at Haines Park at night, or just?
well, we might consider that after we get a fence in there, because right now it's open. It's totally open. It's very easy to get in there from the other side. In fact, that's where a lot of the traffic comes from. People park their vehicles on town property. So the fences, we're in the works on the fence too. Maybe I'll talk about that in new business, but, okay, so we're going forward with the security cameras. Okay, I just left at any new business and we led in to the fence business, and I've submitted all the legal paperwork, surveys, all this stuff to Mr. Griswold to show where right-of-ways are. There's one particular right-of-way for Haines Park from the far side of the park, away from the driveways. And also there's a number of easements that were granted, and he is now submitting that documentation that I sent to the town attorney to have a land use attorney go over to make sure that when we put the fence in where we think we can put it in, it will be the right thing to do, legal. But anyway, so that's going along. Another part of new business is, how can I put this politely? After last month's meeting, and I see Mr. Fuchs has left, there was a discussion with Mr. and Mrs. Fuchs that they don't have the authority to make any changes outside of that boathouse without conferring with Don Bugby and possibly then the Park and Rec Commission. Any physical changes, any types of what they may consider improvements, they cannot do it, okay, without contacting Don. The other day when we took our little tour around there, we did a tour before the November meeting when you had a lot of your members there, and we could all see that the wooden docks were all up on the land, away from the dock. Well, lo and behold, when we went down there this time, on this past Tuesday, the biggest dock is up right against where we were talking about putting the safe kayak launch, literally blocking that area. And then all the other boats were moved more out into the water to show congestion in that area.
On the other dock.
The other docks for the motorized craft, which by the way is up to 5 now. And I asked Mr. Fuchs, well, what did you do here? Did you talk to Don Bugby about doing any of this? And Don, the answer was? No. I brought John Flower down there just to confirm that whole arrangement had changed. Right, John?
Correct.
What I say is correct?
Correct.
Yes. And it was obviously, I'm not surprised, because it's kind of what we expect of those individuals, but to do that, it was just, especially after we had just gone over that he or his wife or anybody with the rowing association has to go through Don Bugby if anything outside that boathouse is being changed. Any type of physical improvement, where you leave things, okay? Well, I asked him, well, how come this year it looks like we have a 5th boat out there? Why do we need so many boats, chase boats? Well, he goes, well, it's been out there for a while. I asked to just speak to Don Bugby about it, and of course the answer was no. So, I don't know. I mean, we just went over all this the last meeting. It seems like the next week, in fact, Mike, you even commented you thought that the dock farthest away from the boat, the land was increased to 75 feet when it's only supposed to be 60.
It was 75 feet. I counted the sections. There were 10 sections.
I don't know, where'd they take those sections from? The other one?
Pardon me?
Where'd they get the put up? First of all, the one by the land is not supposed to be 75 feet. It's supposed to, what was approved by the town and...
Wait a minute. When you say by the land, they're both attached to the land. But if you leave the boathouse, you walk towards the water, there's a dock on your left and a dock on your right.
The one closest to...
Right, when I went down there, it was 10 sections, which is 75 feet. The other one, I believe, was 8 sections.
Oh, so they took the 2 sections, yeah.
A few days later, the day before we met, Saturday, or Sunday actually, I guess it was, the 2 sections had been removed from the dock on the right. It was down...
Okay, I get you.
60 feet. One of the docks was down the pile of the so-called faulty ones, I guess, on land, and I don't know where the other one went to. It might have been attached to the one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Well, thank you for verifying, because I was gone for about 3 weeks, so I didn't see any of this happen other than the fact that when we went to look.
Yeah, when I had the Kayak Launch attached, there were 10 sections.
Yeah, but the part that bothered me was all the old wooden docks were all moved off. They're kind of on the shore area by the neighbor's house over there.
They were on land.
Yeah, they're on land. Now they're all in the water, so it's much more congested. And the biggest one was right up against the dock closest to the boathouse. We'll call it that one. Right. So you couldn't even put the safe kayak launch when we discussed at the previous month at the meeting we had as a possibility of where you could put this thing, because maybe we could leave it at 75 feet. You only need 5 feet or 10 feet or so, and the rowers were only supposed to have docks 10 by 60 feet.
It can also be mounted to one of those wooden docks. I mean, I never even thought of those as a viable dock, but that kayak launch could be mounted to one of those.
No, but you should probably use the connected dock. It works out well.
Attachment for other.
Well, and so what do people on the commission say about all this activity taking place and Don Bugby never been informed about it?
None of it surprises me, but I think that I think we have to stand firm, and maybe we need to get, I don't know, do we need to get the selectmen involved?
What's the commission's enforcement ability?
I know,
Well, the enforcement ability is in the lease that was signed by the rowing association with the school. It says that the rowing association has to follow all the rules and regulations set by the town, and these rules and regulations set by the town is by the Parks and Rec Commission, 20-8 ordinance.
But no one else would assume you could go to a town beach or park and just put up something.
Right.
It's just like, Other than,
it's unacceptable as far as I'm concerned.
how do we like bring it? What is?
Well, I think what I would like to do, and I want to see if you guys agree, I would like to once again send a memo to Mr. and Mrs. Fuchs, who are the president and director of the Rowing Association, saying that they're not allowed to do this stuff without approval of Don or the Parks and Rec Commission. And the thing that gives us that right, Brendan, is 20-8 in the ordinance, which states the responsibility for the management, control, and development of the town's recreational facilities and expenditures made in connection therewith is vested in a Parks and Recreation Commission.
Did they have any explanation when you asked them why they did what they did?
No, it was just, I asked Mr. Fuchs, you were there, well, he says, yeah, I realize I'm supposed to talk to Don, and that was the
I
only,
mean, we were so clear at the last meeting.
it was so clear from the last
You
meeting.
were on the phone at the last.
And
But
so,
I wonder what would be the reasoning for doing it, though?
the fact that we couldn't put the safe kayak launch on the part that we discussed, spot that we discussed the month before.
Yeah.
That's, must have been the motivation. I don't know, I can't get into somebody's head. But, it was just so uncalled for. And he has no right to move anything around there without conferring with the director of Parks and Recreation.
I mean, it feels to me like it was a slap in the face to.
Yeah, so what I was thinking is that for me to shoot off because in their lease, they're supposed to follow all the policies and rules of the town, which means for the Parks and Rec Commission. And this has been going on for a while. Has he ever talked to you about just about anything, Don? Or no.
That stuff, no.
No. So this has been going on, and the fact that they add motorized boats, they don't.
He has talked to me recently, a week or so ago. We had a conversation. They're looking to purchase another chase boat, and it's a different style. Apparently, the school has some funds that are available for it, and the Rowing Association has the remaining funds. I forget the exact price of the thing. They're kind of expensive. But it's a situation where they can, especially during a race, but during practices too, this pontoon boat can pick up everybody in an 8 that might go into water, especially in the springtime when it's cold. It's a bigger situation, and I said, are you looking for permission to buy this thing? Or we're not, they can buy whatever they want, I guess, but we're going to park it over there, and I don't know how many, because I don't think it was determined, of the current chase boats will disappear.
Well, I think that's the only way it happens, because what do you need so many chase boats for? And not only that, it's just, there's only so much spot on that land over there where you could actually put a boat, get them away from the docks. So I think that's a separate issue, and for them to do that, they're going to have to make a formal address to the Park and Rec Commission.
I asked him if he wanted to come to the Parks and Rec Commission meeting to discuss it.
Yes.
And he said, you can just pass it on to them.
Yeah.
I said, I will. So I did.
Okay. So anyway, that this type of behavior cannot be encouraged or rewarded in any way by not doing anything about it. He just can't do this, and he's been doing it all along. And it's quite insulting to Don that this is the only organization that doesn't enter. Don's such an easy, nice, logical guy to get along with, that this is probably the only organization that doesn't give him a least bit of respect. But anyway, so I was thinking about writing a email to the Fuchses, because she's the president and he's the director, to remind them that they're not allowed to do any of this. And we thought that we made that clear at the last meeting, and then lo and behold, we saw what happened when we went there on Tuesday. All these wooden docks had moved, and the boats had moved, and the first thing I'd like to say in the letter is for him to put everything back to where it was. And the second thing is that he has to follow the regulations of the town, which happens to be the Park and Rec Commission, and that this behavior will not be tolerated.
Can you copy all of us when you send them?
Oh yeah, and plus I'm going to copy Hildy and Ian on that, because their agreement with the school is that they have to follow all the policies and rules of the town.
Well, they're going to say that it's not school season, so they don't have direct responsibility what's going on there now. They lease the boathouse and the contents.
Yeah.
It's not the school's program that's going on outside of the spring. It's the rowing association's program.
Well, I just want to send it to them to keep them in the loop as to what type of things we're dealing with, because I think it just cannot continue anymore. Mike, you can go now. I just want you saw, unless you want to listen, we're just about done. Yes.
School program, can I ask a question?
Sure.
The rowing for the school, District 18, is only in the spring?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's 4 months, maybe?
Well, whenever they get into the water.
March 15th, I think.
End of June, whenever school ends.
Well, it's probably not the end of June, but whenever, by the time school's over, it's done.
The whole rest of the year is
it's the rowing
District
association.
18.
Yes. But you heard how it was absolutely impossible to put that on those docks, right? You heard him say that it was absolutely impossible, that we need all this area.
Yeah, and he was talking about getting these kids on the water and this and that. I thought it was for...
No.
They had a fall program right up until...
Well, they do, but it's run by the association. It's not run by the District 18.
Not through the school.
They have programs in the fall.
Okay.
They have programs all summer. And in the springtime, it's the district program.
It's confusing.
Yeah.
But we can have a say if they're putting another boat out there, whether or not, if they're not taking other boats away.
Mark, I would think you could have a say.
Right.
Yeah, well, of course we have a say, because it's...
I mean, that's the most important point, I think.
Yeah, so I want to get kind of, I'm afraid we're going to have more discussions with the school as time goes on here.
The Kayak Launch Assist, I always assumed you would have to have a parking sticker in your automobile to drive in there with your kayak, and you have to be a town resident to have that.
Yeah, kayaks could go out there. Yeah, it was just the longer boats that we were concerned about cruising through the park all the time. Yeah. So like from May 15th to September 15th, we have a policy that any boat over 15 feet long would have to go through the boathouse driveway, not through the public driveway, and not to go through the beach area and all that. So anyway, what is the commissioners, what do you say? Should I write a letter to remind them that they have to confer with Don Bugby on any changes? At least with Don, and if not...
I think that's a start.
Yeah, what, Brendan?
If we just ignore it,
No, we're not going to ignore it, especially after the last meeting. You listened to the last meeting? Yeah, that we made it very clear.
Oh, we were clear.
To them that they can't be doing this stuff, and what did they do right away? The next week, they do it again. I don't know, the next week or 2 weeks later, whenever it was, but before this meeting. John?
Yeah, no, I think it's fine.
Yeah, okay. And the school may take the position that it's none of their business because it's not a school program, but I would have to point out to Ian and Hildy, it is their business because they're leasing it out to the Old Line Rowing Association so it is their business.
That's the only clarification I think you really have to be clear on, because, right away if you say the school, they go, well, it's not our program. But there is responsibility.
Yeah, I can take the quote out of the lease, okay, to remind them that the rowing association has to follow the policies of the town. They can't make up their own policies or do their own, quote, improvements to that park or any park. I kind of reminded Mr. Fuchs that the name of the park was Haines Park and not Rowers Park.
So then you're going to draft a letter.
Yeah, okay, Mike, thanks a lot, okay. And if you wanna call me just about anything, I'm around next month, if you're about these things with Rogers Lake and the other thing, if you have any problems, just give me a call.
All right, good.
Okay, good, see ya. Okay, any more discussion on that? So I'll buzz off an email, tomorrow on that. And, are you okay with that, Tim? You still out there?
Yeah, I'm out here. I just wonder what the next, I know it's a good way to start, but what is the next step? Because I think if it's, I mean, I haven't been privy to what's been going on down there, but it sounds like it's stuff like that's been going on for a while. So what is the next step?
For years.
Yeah, so what's the next step after
Well, I think the next step will be, Don and I may request to talk to Ian and Hilby about this, at some point. That would probably be the next follow-up step, but we'll see what happens after this email's sent, because I'm sure that there'll be some sort of reply.
Yeah, and there should be a...
Yeah, and hopefully it's a respectful, because we're trying to be above board and respectful to all users, because it's all users of the park, the picnic people, the swimmers, the beach people, you name it, the basketball people, everybody's got to learn to share and play nice. Right, Don? That's what we always say. Everybody's got, like with Townwoods Park, everybody's got to share and be nice to one another. Okay, so that's all I got to say about that. And public comment, there's nobody here. Anybody in telephone land? No? Okay, hearing no public comment, would somebody make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Brendan?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any more discussion? No? All those in favor?
Aye.
Tim?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Okay. All those opposed? No one. Abstain? No one. Okay, we're done. Thank you all for attending tonight's meeting, and the next meeting will be the first Thursday in January.
Okay, be here.
All right.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
All right.